All right. Welcome, everybody, to the Medical Radiologic Technology Board meeting on it's September 20th, 2024, and at 9:01 a.m. We're going to begin the meeting with taking roll call. Okay.
Dr. Khan, I believe he is not present today. Dr. Beckman.
Present.
Ms. Brand, I do believe you're here, but you'll have to unmute yourself and verbally confirm your presence.
Here.
All right, Ms. Landra.
Here.
And Ms. Lutz.
Here.
Mr. Morin.
Here.
Ms. Parker.
Here.
And Ms. Cisniega.
Here.
And Ms. Waddell.
Here.
Dr. Beckman, you do have a quorum and can proceed.
Perfect. We're going to move on to agenda item number 2, which is board member report.
So this would be an opportunity for you to share anything with the board that you'd like to share. And if you don't, then you just move on.
Or other board members as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. Well, I have nothing to share. Does anyone, any of the board members have anything they'd like to share with the group? All right. Moving on. Agenda item number 3 is executive director report.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Nice to see your faces. For our update, we'll try to keep it quick for you to keep things moving along. We'll come back to the budget update, and Joey will give you that. But for our internal audit update, as you may recall, we looked at our licensure department, and I think for the first time, we've had a audit take place where there were no recommendations for anything to improve. They did such a fantastic job, so very proud of them, and we'll be looking at compliance for next year. For the legislative update, obviously we have the session coming up, and staff is hard at work in putting together our legislative appropriations requests. All of that has been submitted, and now we are going through the process of speaking with the Legislative Budget Board and different committees so that they are, very well aware of what we're asking for and why, and how it is going to help make the experience better for our licensees, for the public, for our board members, and for the staff. For our rules update, again, as you may recall, this has been a very lengthy process of going through every single one of our rules. We have made a lot of progress on it. It is now at the point where it has been submitted to the register. It should show up in the edition next week, I believe. I believe on the 27th should show up. And so that will start the process where people can give comments. It can come from individuals. It can come from associations. It can come from anybody that has any thoughts on our rules and suggestions of, either they like it or things that they would like to see done different in the draft language. But we'll go through that process with the overall goal to have the new rules adopted by at the December medical board meeting and have them go into effect either at the very end of December or the beginning of January, depending on when it hits the register after that meeting takes place. And I will pass it off to Joey to talk about our budget.
Thank you, Brent. Good morning, board members. So real quick, fiscal year 2024 ended August 31st. We had a very strong year. Our revenue collections were just over 41.5 million. So that put us at 4% more than what we collected in fiscal year 2023. As Brent mentioned, session's about to start here in January. So our messaging is going to continue to be that our revenue collections are strong and that the exceptional item requests we have in the legislative appropriations request we can support. Currently, we receive about 60% of the revenue collections we collect. So our goal is to try to get it to 80, and with our exceptional items, that puts us at 85.5%. We're also in the process of finalizing our annual financial report for fiscal year 2024. So that should be pushed out in the month of October. And pending any questions, I'll hand it back to you, Brent.
Great. Thank you, Joey. Board members, do you have any questions for Joey? Okay, not seeing any. So again, thank you, Joey. That's kind of here at the end of my report. And just on a personal note, I'd like to say, thankfully, my military time here is coming to an end very quickly. And so I look forward to being back in the building with you guys for the next meeting. And that is all I have for you.
Great. Thank you. Next agenda item is the medical director report.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'll try to be even briefer than Mr. Carlton. We really have no issues with standard of care violations by your licensees that require additional expert panelists. As always, if you have any interventional physicians that you can give to me who might be willing to serve as an expert panelist for the medical board, we always do need those. But as far as anything else, I think I'll turn it over to Scott.
Great. Thank you. Next agenda item is pending litigation.
Good morning, board members. I am very pleased to report that there are no cases in your board, so there's really nothing to report, but we are happy to answer any questions that you might have. And so sorry, my camera there, get it fixed. But that concludes my report, unless you have any questions.
Okay, doesn't sound like there's any. Next is the Texas Physician Health Program to discuss discussion, recommendation, and possible action.
Yes. Hi, good morning. I do have one case that should be in your materials that needs a decision today. This was a case that the Texas PHP Governing Board is recommending be returned to Texas PHP. I'm happy to answer any questions you have about the case.
And so at this time, Dr. Beckman, if there are no questions, then you could call for a vote. The options would be to accept the referral as recommended by Dr. Doyle, or to, nope.
No, it's return to PHP, so not accept the referral. Just
apologies.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's accept the referral and return to PHP. I shouldn't have corrected you.
I think we're making this as complicated as we possibly can with these motions here. Okay. So to accept the recommendation of Texas PHP to return the matter to Texas PHP. Did I get that right? I think. Okay.
Yes, that sounds good. That sounds good.
All right.
So do I have a motion to accept the recommendation to return this case to the PHP?
I move to. Mr. Shannon, I motion.
Okay, so I think I heard a motion from Ms. Landreth, and I'm going to say Ms. Lutz, I believe, heard a second. I'm seeing it shaking a head. Perfect. All right. So we have a motion. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 All opposed, nay. Okay, the motion passes.
Great. And I think the other items were really just for your information. We did not have any emergent referrals to report on. And there are two reports you have in your packet that if you have questions, I can answer. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Okay, next agenda item is licensure applicants, of which there are none, I believe.
Correct.
Next agenda is proposed orders by the ED. There's none. Next agenda item is rescinding or denial program or instructor. There's none. Next item is report program approvals and renewals.
Yes, there was one LMRT initial program that met all the requirements and has been approved by the executive director. This is just a report, so there's no motion needed.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you.
The next item is reports and discussion regarding investigation, litigation, and compliance.
Thank you. And we're pretty early in the fiscal year, so there's not too much to report. There have been no warning letters for your board. The criminal case review is in there for you to review, pretty standard. I do want to note on D that the report for cases over 1 year old, that we are looking really good on those numbers from fiscal year 2024. We're hoping to continue that trend into the next fiscal year that has started. And then for temporary suspensions and reports on rehearing, there are none for your board.
Perfect. Thank you. Next item is consideration and approval of expert panel. There's none. Next item is discussion and possible action regarding review of probationers' appearances. There are none. Next item is follow-up of files. There are none. Next item is cases recommended for dismissal.
All right. And under item 15, there are cases that have been assigned to several different board members, Ms. Landreth, Dr. Beckman, and Ms. Lutz. So we'll start out with 15A, which is non-standard of care cases assigned to Ms. Landreth. So Ms. Landreth, if you have a case that you'd like to discuss individually, now would be the opportunity to do so. If you don't, then you could propose a motion to accept the dismissals.
Okay. I do not require any discussion, so I do move to accept those dismissals.
Okay, there's a motion by Ms. Landreth to approve the dismissals.
I'll second.
Okay, that's a second by Ms. Waddell. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. All opposed, say nay. Okay, the motion passes.
All right, and then the next group of cases is assigned to you, Dr. Beckman. Again, anything you'd like to pull or discuss, now would be the time, or you could propose a motion if you don't feel there's any discussion needed.
All right. Well, I don't feel there's anything to discuss on these. I would motion to accept the board staff's recommendation for dismissal. Is there a second? I'm sorry. I'm gonna say- Okay. There was a motion by Dr. Beckman for dismissal that was seconded by Ms. Landreth. And all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? All right, the motion passes.
All right, and the next group of cases is also under tab B, assigned to Ms. Lutz. Ms. Lutz, anything you'd like to pull or discuss before a vote?
No, I don't have any questions or anything to discuss, so I'll make a motion to approve the dismissal of the case.
Okay. We have a motion by Ms. Lutz to accept the recommendation for dismissal. Is there a second?
Second.
I'm going to say it was Sesniega that seconded. All in favor of the motion? Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Any opposed? All right. The motion passes. All right.
And that is it for agenda item number 15.
Perfect. Moving on right along. Agenda item number 8. There are 16 appeals. There are none. Next agenda item is determination of defaults.
And there is one item under agenda item number 17. I do want to just check with general counsel because we noticed it for 9:20 and it's 9:14. I don't know if we've ever been.
We have
This
to
quick.
wait. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have to wait.
We have to wait 6 minutes. So I wonder if it would be possible to continue on and then circle back in 6 minutes.
That's fine. Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll return to that item.
All right. So tabling item number 17. So moving on to item number 18. That's a proposal for decision. There are none. Next item is MRTR, which there are none. Next item is agreed orders. There are none. Next item is remedial plans.
And there is one remedial plan for your review and vote. This was a case that went to an ISC and there was a recommendation for a remedial plan. Respondent agreed, and it is now before you for your approval.
Can I just double check on the number? I think on the agenda, I see 2 listed. Let's see. Let me
There
look
was
at what
Yeah, I
was
see 2
Oh,
also.
you're right.
I see 2 in the folder. Yep.
Yes,
Oh,
my
great. Okay,
apologies.
thanks.
There are
worries.
2.
Thank you.
It's okay. It's okay. Is there any discussion on these remedial plans? All right. Hearing none, is there a motion regarding accepting the remedial plans as proposed by the board?
Motion to
I
accept the remedial plans as proposed.
Oh,
I'm sorry, who was that?
Mrs.
Ms.
Brandt.
Brandt.
Okay, thanks. So I hear a motion by Ms. Brandt. Is there a second? Okay, by Ms. Sesniega. So we have a motion to accept the remedial plans as presented by board staff with a second. All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay,
Aye.
all opposed? No opposed, the motion passes. All right, next item is, here we go, is 22 mediated settlement orders. There are none. Next item is nunc pro tunc, of which there is none. Next item is cease and desist orders. There are none. Next item is agreed resolution. There are none. Next item is consent orders. There are none. Well, next item is report C and D orders by the ED. There are none. Next item is report automatic orders and actions. There are none. We might get this done before 9:20. Next item is proposed rule amendments. There are none. And next item is adoption rule amendments. There are none. And then I guess we have a few minutes for open forum public comments before we circle back.
So it is 9:17. You have 3 minutes until the noticed item. Excuse me. So agenda item number 31, if there are any individuals, members of the public that are on virtually that would like to make comments, there are none physically in the room with us here. But if you are online, please go ahead and raise your hand using the raise function. It's a little hand icon in the top. And we'll just give that a moment to see if anybody is in the meeting and would like to raise their hand to make a public comment. All right. I think that it looks like there's nobody here. You may proceed.
Yeah.
Although,
Well, we have a couple minutes. So while we're waiting, just as a point of information, unless someone else had something else to say. I just had a point of information question, like a point of my information. So for this determination of defaults that we're waiting on, is it because the applicant or the person, the respondent, is given the opportunity to appear? Is that why it's got a specific timestamp?
that is correct. So when we are noticing a default prior to the board meeting, board staff sends out documents to the licensee's address of record, and that includes information about the time and the place of the meeting. And the time was listed as 9:20 a.m. So that would mean that legally we should not start until 9:20 a.m. since that individual was noticed that it would start at that time. So if we're running a little bit early, we have to wait. If we're running a little bit late, that's probably okay because it's after the noticed time.
Perfect, yeah. So other things that would fall with those timestamps would be like the start time for like the licensure discussions or the disciplinary actions.
Correct. So the start time for the board meeting has a similarly noticed time, along with the date. The time is specifically noticed. Yeah.
And that could also apply for just anything else that the board may want to put a time on. There have been some times in the past where if we think there's going to be a particularly interesting item on the agenda, say for the medical board, we may put a time stamp for the open forum public comments. And so even if we're zooming along, we can't start open comments until it reaches that time as well, just so the public has notice of when it's going to begin.
And it is 9:20 a.m.
Perfect. Thank you. All right. So we're going to go back to agenda item number 17, which was determination of defaults.
And this is a default that has been noticed for Mark Hodge, MRT. And I believe Mr. O'Day will be presenting for board staff. Mr. Hodge, are you in the meeting? And if so, please raise your hand and turn on your camera, and you'd be welcome to participate in this agenda item.
And also, if there happens to be anyone that's representing Mr. Hodge, if you're here as well.
All right.
Okay.
So, Mr. O'Day, if you would like to proceed with your presentation.
Yes, good morning, board members. Board staff is here today to request that you, the board, enter a default against respondent Mark Hodge, MRT. On April 26, 2024, board staff filed a complaint at the State Office of Administrative Hearings alleging that respondent was arrested for possession of a controlled substance, manufacturing or delivery of a controlled substance, and unlawful carrying of a weapon by Odessa Police Department, and pled guilty in federal court to conspiracy to manufacture with intent to distribute 50 grams or more of actual methamphetamine. On May 3rd, 2024, the board sent the notice of adjudicative hearing that included the complaint to respondent's mailing address of record, which stated that he was required to appear at SOA's preliminary hearing on June 17th, 2024 at 9:30 a.m., and that failure to appear may result in a default against his MRT certificate. Despite this, respondent did not appear at the hearing, and as a result, the administrative law judge entered a default dismissal order against respondent and gave him 12 days to file a motion to set aside default judgment for good cause. Despite this, respondent did not file that motion, and as a result, the ALJ entered a letter of remand to remand the case to you, the board, to make a final decision today. And on August 30th, 2024, board staff sent a notice of default regarding today's meeting to respondent's mailing address of record, which included the default order that's before you. Also, throughout the process, board staff also attempted to reach out to respondent through his phone number and email address of record, as well as physical mail, but thus far, board staff has been unsuccessful in communicating with respondent. Board staff also became aware that as of September 3rd, 2024, respondent's MRT certificate was canceled for non-renewal. Despite this, board staff still requests that you, the board, enter the default order against respondent's MRT certificate, since the ALJ did file a default order and letter of remand before the cancellation occurred. Respondent has not made himself available throughout the proceeding, and respondent is not present at today's hearing, and thus board staff presumes that respondent is not contesting the matter, and board staff believes that the entry of the default order is necessary to protect the public. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, I have one question.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, when a case of this magnitude comes, do we have a way of checking to see if they're in jail? And if that's the reason we can't contact them?
There are some
Or is that something we
processes-
routinely do?
There are some processes that we can use, board staff can use to research whether or not someone is incarcerated. And since there was a conviction, and from my understanding, there was jail time that was required under the plea agreement at the federal court level, board staff has the ability to search through I believe it's called the Bureau of Prisons or the Department of Justice's websites to check whether or not the respondent is currently incarcerated with within the federal prison system. And from what I had reviewed, respondent was not incarcerated, but it's also worth noting that respondent is not availing himself to us as well. So as a result, it can be difficult to determine if respondent is running, I say running, whether or not he is hiding from the federal government, or if he's had a change of address, or if he has been incarcerated at the state level. I hope that answers your question, Ms. Waddell.
Bruce,
Any-
at this point, yeah, we would just be kind of speculating of why he's not answering, but the outcome potentially could be the same. If someone was incarcerated, then there would be an automatic revocation of their license as well for the incarceration. But again, as what you have before you today, though, is just a default. Again, we don't really know why he hasn't responded, but this is the place that we're at in our process.
Okay. I was just curious because I didn't want us to go through with all this and then have it get thrown back at us because he was unavailable for that. I wasn't sure how that process worked.
Well, let me kind of jump in here, Miss Waddell. What the law says is we notice them at their last known address and wherever we can make best efforts if we have other addresses, but the statutes say the board can rely upon sending it to last known address on file with us. So if we send it there and can show we sent it there, if he has failed to change address or as Mr. O'Day was saying, we can check with the Prison Bureau. But ultimately, if whatever address is on file with us for his professional license, that is where we send notice unless we have notice of other places. If he comes back and says, wait, I didn't know, he has a right after the entry of a default within a certain amount of time to appeal to say what the extraordinary circumstance was. But again, for the purposes of efficiency, so we don't have to always try to chase them and find out if they're trying to evade us or are they in prison or getting transferred. That's why we use the last address. That's statutorily the way it's done.
And for like a point of clarification, I guess, like to get this is a default on SOA, so to have gotten to the SOA, he would have passed through an ISC, right? So this is like the second step that he has not appeared for, correct?
That is correct. So an ISC was held in this matter, and it was unresolved after the ISC. Then Mr. O'Day filed a formal complaint at the State Office of Administrative Hearings, where again, he's been noticed at his address of record throughout this whole process. Board staff also, we do go above and beyond what's required by the statute and reach out to respondents in this situation via email as well as telephone, and try to get in contact with them. And we've been unable to do that with Mr. Hodge. It just happens to coincidentally have, timing wise, been that his license was canceled for non-renewal. It had been expired for a year. And so after a year, that license can be canceled. And so after the SOA proceeding where he did not show up, the board did automatically cancel his license per our process. And we are here today, though, because since we were so far along in the SOA proceeding, and to ensure that we do have public notice and closure of the matter, we are asking, as Mr. O'Day mentioned, staff is asking for the proposed order of default to be adopted by the board. It is in your backup material labeled 05 default order if you would like to look at it. And at this time, any other questions? And then if you wanted to call for a vote, you could do so.
Thank you. Any other comments or questions from the board? All right. Do I have a motion?
I move that we accept the default order as presented.
Okay, perfect. So I heard a motion to accept the recommendation of default from Ms. Waddell with a second from Mr. Moran. All in favor, say aye.
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 Okay. All opposed? The motion passes. All right.
Those are all of the outstanding items on the agenda with the exception of items 32 and 33. 32 would be the board meeting minutes.
Okay. All right. So yes, we have do I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes from the June 28th board meeting?
Make a motion. Accept the minute.
Okay. I'm going to say, I believe that
Was
was
that
Ms.
Cisniega?
Yes, and then made a motion to approve the minutes, and then I think I heard Ms. Lutz second it.
Yeah, let's go ahead and
Okay.
just have you second it just for the record so we can get that
Perfect.
stated separately. Go ahead, Ms. Lutz, if you wouldn't just give us that second. Thank you.
Sorry, I second the motion.
Perfect. Okay. All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, that motion passes. Great. And then the final agenda item is adjournment. So I hereby adjourn the medical radiologic.
Need a vote.
Oh,
Yeah, we have to
okay.
get a
Do I have a vote?
motion.
I can't
I
be
move
dictatorial in that
that we
regard.
adjourn.
Okay. Yeah. So do I have a motion to adjourn?
I move we
Yes.
adjourn.
Perfect. Miss
it.
Landris, motions. Do I hear a second? I think Miss Brandt, did you
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, Miss
Waddell,
Waddell's.
okay.
Miss Waddell's seconded. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed?
Aye.
All right, perfect. So this meeting is adjourned.
At 9:32 a.m.
Perfect. Thank you guys. It was good
Aye,
seeing you
y'all.
all.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Bye-bye.